So today we are going to talk about bringing Aldelo Express under central referral partner control. This is an above store thing. This is where you'll be able to control a great deal of your customers and help control them and make it just a better business for yourself. There's a lot of advantages to this. We're going to tackle the what it is, the why it's important, and then how to make this happen. So we're going to do a 3-part class today. First part is the what. So what is this? This is where we can place all of your accounts under one central control login in the above store back office. And I say back office, but it's actually in the cloud. So this is the cloud back office or above store, whichever you want to call it. But this is getting all of your accounts under one central login. This gives you a lot of options as to what you can do. We'll get into that in the why. But this puts it under one secure login with password protection. So this gives you access to all of your accounts with one secure login under password protection. Where this is where you invite the users to the store. So this then it gives you total control of who has access to each of the stores under your control. This could be your employees, and it also could be the owners of the restaurant. So when you build the database, you're going to invite them as a user to that database, rather than if they control the database, then they would have to invite you to the store, and therefore they would have control of you. So let's make this where you have the control over those installs. There's no limit as to how many users can be invited. So you can have several of your employees if you have multiple technicians who do support. They can each have their own username and login, as well as the owner of the restaurant. They too can invite users if they wish to give access to the store. Terminated, obviously, if those terminated employees, they're deleted, and you control that for your employees, and the restaurant owner can control their own, but you can as well. So this is a dual thing. In the end, you got control. But as a store creator, you cannot be deleted. So if the store owner gets mad and wants to take you off, they can't. You're the one that's in control of the store. You maintain complete control of the account and the database. So this is all you. So I think by this point in the discussion here, you're starting to see just how important this can be to the way you do business. So let's get into the why. This gives you centralized control of all the stores, of every store that you have in your group, if you will. You add and create the store. So you would go to the back office and you'd create the store. Then you'd go through the wizard of answering the questions about address, phone number, whatever, and then you'd answer the question about the type of store, the type of operation it is, the type of menu. And then you would go into creating the actual item database. You create the store in the back office. You own the database. This is your database. So you control whether it is active or inactive. Then this gives you the option to charge for the database. I hope that sinks in. There's a lot of opportunity for additional revenues if you're starting to charge for that database. And if you're not charging now, you're leaving money on the table. This is something that you definitely should charge for. A lot of our partners who are new to the point of sale side of business don't realize how much money they leave on the table by not charging for their services. database creation being one of them. Installation is one of them. Training is another one. There are a lot of things that you should be charging for that your competitors do. Database being one of them. This gives you the opportunity to do just that. You also then obviously have control over the users. You control who's invited, and it is literally an invitation. You will send an invitation to the person via email. That person has a link in the email that they must accept and then create their password. So it is a controllable situation from your aspect as to who gets invited. The store owner also invites who they wish to join. Same method. They send an invitation via email. That person accepts that email and, of course, creates their password. But you do maintain final control over who has access to this database. This is much more secure than sharing credentials. For years, and well, actually decades, in the point of sale business, people they shared the same login. They would have a company login to the restaurant's database that the entire company would share. Well, if those credentials ever got shared with the wrong person, or if they were shared with somebody who then quit and was terminated, that person still had access to those restaurants, which was a security nightmare. And the thought of going back, and if you had 50 customers and you have to go back and change the credentials in 50 different locations, that's not realistic. This gives you much more secure method of tracking who has login access to those customers. Once that employee has been terminated or no longer works for you, simply go in and remove them as a user from the user list, and they no longer have access to any of the restaurants. So this does maintain a much better PCI compliance by keeping secure the username and passwords and who has access to those systems. How about support your site from anywhere? This gives you that single user, single login and password that is specific to you so that you can log in from any internet device, whether it be a phone, tablet, laptop, or desktop computer. You can support all your sites with one login, one password, all of your sites. This gives you a lot of flexibility and improves the customer service that you're able to provide. So let's take a quick look at how to make this happen. And what we've got is Rodney's got a good video on how to make this happen. He's going to teach you how to do the setup in the back office.
So here we are in the Express console. Now under the home, you can see under the My Stores list on the right here, the stores that the logged in user has access to. Now this does not necessarily mean that the user created these stores, and you can select a store to manage by clicking on any of the listed stores here. But we will be focusing on the Express console for today's demo. So we're going to go ahead and go to Stores. And from here, you can differentiate which stores are owned by specific creators. As we are logged in as Aldelo Sales, you can see the creator here on the bottom left. And you'll see on the other stores, there are various different creators there. But Aldelo Sales has access to these stores as they have been invited to have access to the stores. Now, access to certain back office features is dependent on the security level of the user and the defined security settings. So you as reps can create stores under your account or umbrella and invite owners or other users to have access. If your customer wants you to set up and manage their gift and rewards program, you can only do so if the store is under your account, as you will need access to their chain. Or store owners or managers can create their store or chain of stores and invite you, the reps, to have access to their store. So we're going to go ahead and add a store here. I'm going to click on Create New Store. And I'll enter the information and speed up for time. And we'll choose restaurant here. And you'll see we can only choose one category at this time. If a store will be using different categories, we can edit that after the store is created, as well as the cuisine. And the style will always just choose other. And then we'll proceed to the next page. You can create new menu items. We're just going to leave this as is, but we do have to define a unit price. And we'll set up a passcode for this store. Okay, you'll see here the store is created, and it does have a trial designation here. And you should know that the basic setup only allows for one trial store at a time. So if we clicked on Create New Store again, you'll see the error message there. Go ahead, OK. As I mentioned earlier, once a store is created, you can always go back in and update the category and cuisine and style. To do that, you're going to click on Config on the bottom right-hand corner. And you'll be able to edit the store. So you can still change the store name, address information, as well as the contact information here. But we can go and scroll down. You'll see the category and cuisine style. On the initial store build, we built it as quick service and American. You can see that from here, we can also enable other types of categories and other cuisine and style options here. And we can save it at this point. Okay, so we'll leave this as is for now. We're going to go ahead and move next to the users. So we're going to skip a couple of the sections here. Go to users. Now, these are the list of users that have access to this store. As you can see, you can uninvite certain users from having access to this store or specific stores that you have access to as well. So if I needed to uninvite, I can. And if we wanted to invite a new user, you click on Invite New User here, enter the user's email address and name, and select the store that they want to have access to. So you'll see here, we will not see the Express demo, as you can only invite users to stores that are not under the trial designation. So we're going to go ahead and skip this for now. So behind the scenes, I'm going to go ahead and request to have that store set to live. This can be done for Aldelo Pay customers by requesting their device registration, or for merchants that will be using third-party processing, applying for SaaS licensing. So we're going to go ahead and move back to the stores, and we'll go ahead and get this store live. Okay, so now you see the Express Demo 2 store there is off of the trial designation and is set to demo. So I'm going to go back into the users and invite new user. We'll put in the information here. And when we scroll to the bottom and find the Express Demo 2 store there, we can toggle that to yes. So we can now send the invitation. And you'll see it was sent over to my email. I'm going to show you a quick screenshot here of what that will look like. You'll see the instruction to accept the invitation. Please click the link below. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the link. It's going to open up a new tab here where I just have to click on submit. Since I already do have an account set up under that email, I do not have to set up or establish a password. And I now have access. So I'm going to go ahead and now log in under that email address. And you'll see that I have access to that store here. So I'm going to go ahead and close this and move back to the other store here. So that is how you invite a new user. And now we're going to go ahead and move to the chains. Okay, so chains are used to link or group stores together for operations such as inventory and or Mesa gift and rewards within a single chain. For inventory, this allows for inventory transfers from store to store. And for Mesa gift and reward, this allows for participating stores to issue and redeem gift and rewards between stores within the chain. These stores must be created under the same creator account. Also, multiple chains can be established when a merchant stores operate under your umbrella, allowing you to manage each program separately with the distinct chains. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new chain here. And we'll call this EX Cafe demo. Now the rest of the information here is optional. I would go ahead and just proceed without entering any info, and we'll submit. I'm going to go ahead and link my second store here. And now I'll have these two stores in my chain. This will allow for inventory transfers, in this case from these two stores. If there are more stores added here, they can transfer inventory from store to store. And also if you do add gift, it does have to be requested to have the Mesa chain level Mesa online and reward button present, and they can manage the gift card program from there. And you'll see that there is a messaging option as well. Now we've already gone over a detailed setup and application of the messaging. You can find that video on our YouTube channel under Aldelo University. Just look for the video titled Aldelo Express Messaging. Okay, I'll go ahead and hand it over to you, Jerry.
Good job, bud. Makes it very clear. I hope you guys have seen the power that we have here with this system of the above store, with managing all the stores from one login. And what power that gives you and control that gives you over the customers that are under your umbrella. We've mentioned this several times, and we've seen it utilized. We think this is something that you guys need to take better advantage of. That's why we're bringing it up here. So any questions? Anybody want to raise their hand and I will unmute them. All right, Gilson, you are unmuted.
Hey, I have a question, Jerry. How you doing? Uh, if we give access to the owner, is that the owner able to access the reward and the chain now?
Yes. Yeah, but they have to have it turned on,
Because
but yes.
they can't do that because sometimes I got my customers calling. They say they can. They say only the email that was the creator that is able to, manage the chain, unless it's something you know.
Correct. Only the store creator can manage the chain.
Okay, so still we have to do that for the customer.
If you're going to be the store creator, yes, the store creator chains cannot appear in multiple accounts.
Okay, okay, that answered my question. Maybe in the future. All right, Jeff. Thank you.
All right, anything in the chat, Pleasanton? Anything we need to bring up there?
I don't have any other questions that have appeared, Jerry,
Okay.
that we need to look at.
Anybody else want to raise their hand? Let's see. Looks like nobody else is raising their hand, so we'll just go ahead and call this good. For anybody here who has multiple Aldelo Express accounts, this is the way to manage those stores. This is the way for you to control who has access, and it gives you the ability to then look at those stores from anywhere, from any device. All right, let's see. Henry, go ahead. I unmuted you. Henry,
Can
go
you hear me
ahead.
now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay. What about existing stores under their own groups? Do I have to do it through a user profile under users? Will they show up under one group for me?
If your store has already been created, you need to be invited by that store creator as a user. And
I
going
realize that
forward,
when I
you may
log
be the
into
one
it.
who creates it.
Oh, you want me to create them?
Yes, if in order for this to work fully, you need to be the store creator to then invite the store owner to be part of the store.
Yeah, I usually have them. I usually create the stores under their email address. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll need to do that from now on yours so that you have the control. That's what this is really truly about, is to take full advantage of the system. As it stands now, if somebody else created the store, they have to invite you. We're teaching you
Well,
here to reverse that, for you to create it and you invite them.
when I create one, I always create it under their email address. Yeah. Um,
Okay, let's
yeah.
reverse that.
They're
Start
really
doing
there.
it the opposite.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right, anybody else? All right, guys, we call this good. I'm glad to have the questions. Those make this a lot better.